Wilson Wyatt. I am a writer and a photographer on the eastern shore of Maryland, and have gotten involved in the writers community across the Delmarva Peninsula. It's become an important part of my life. When I moved here about 14 years ago, I was looking for a writers community, if you will. I knew some writers, but not that many. And I became familiar with the Eastern Shore Writers Association, which at that time was relatively small, but it's now an organization of probably 200 writers across the Delmarva Peninsula. And it serves a very important function because it gives those insular writers that, like all of us who are hidden away in our little communities, if you will, writing very privately in our favorite place to write. And but there is a need to communicate with other writers and to learn things about writing, to learn things about publishing, and just the community goodwill that comes from being in a community. So the Eastern Shore Writers Association, I think, really provides that opportunity for writers. It does several things, and we have about 40 volunteers in all that change all the time. People who are willing to do something for the good of the overall writers community. And between them, I think there are three things that they do that are really outstanding. Really outstanding anywhere, to be honest about it. First is they have monthly meetings with great speakers. Could be a professor teaching who's excellent at teaching fiction or nonfiction or poetry. And writers of whether they're just starting out or whether they're professionals can kind of keep up with writing by going to those. And those meetings are held around the Delmarva Peninsula, which is 170 miles long and about 60 miles wide. So it varies. It could be here, it could be in Chestertown, it could be in Rehoboth Beach, or in Salisbury. And the second thing it does is it publishes a literary review, which is sort of like the high end of writing. It's not for everyone, but if a writer is aspiring to be better, the literary review is a place they can aspire to for outstanding poetry, for outstanding essays and nonfiction, or for outstanding fiction. So it is a public, the literary review is an opportunity that writers have in front of them, that if they really aspire to the best, there's a place for them. And the third thing that the Eastern Shore Writers Association does is it puts on the Bay to Ocean Writers Conference, which is every February. It sells out in advance. Roughly 200 people come to that event, including the speakers and the writers. And it's for everyone. It's for the aspiring new writer, and it's for pros as well. It does everything from teach people how to network in the social media, to how to write a good memoir, or to how to use metaphor better in poetry. So it's an outstanding conference. And these are all put on by volunteers. It's a wonderful thing. The other thing that is occurring now, which I've noticed it's pretty new, which is critique groups are starting to develop around the peninsula. And there are a couple in Easton. There is one in Salisbury, there's one over on the Delaware near Dover, And there are a couple of others scattered around the peninsula. These are small groups of 10, 12 people who will write and critique their writing privately without any fear of anyone telling them what not to do, so to speak. And that's a wonderful opportunity. A good critique group can help an aspiring writer immensely. So that is starting to occur. And then there are courses that are offered periodically during the year on fiction, memoir, and poetry that are taught by instructors. And the Eastern Shore Writers Association will pay the instructor to do this. And this is a fairly new thing, but it's a wonderful opportunity because these are primarily for professionals no longer in school. They have another job or are retired, either way. And there really isn't an opportunity to go to an MFA program or go back to school, go back to college to learn these things. So the writers community is alive and well across the Delmarva Peninsula. And there are other writers organizations besides the Eastern Shore Writers Association. There's the Rehoboth Beach Writers Guild over in Rehoboth Beach. There are several smaller organizations around the peninsula. When I came here 14 years ago, they just weren't there. I mean, they were not active. It's amazing what I've seen over this short period of time. And one of the things I think that contributes to it is publishing. Everyone can publish today. You couldn't say that even 5 or 6 years ago. The invention of print on demand, if you will, by publishing houses has given writers the opportunity for their words to be read. If life could be that simple.